Hey there guys, this is me T-Dude here, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming Pickups for the month of December of 2015. So, let's get started. So, as you can see here, not as much as I gotten from last month's pickup, but some kind of interesting little stories here and there. And plus, I did get a good number of games from a bundle from the digital games, which I will detail later. But first, let's get to these games. So, of course, with December is, the holiday month, basically. And surprisingly enough, you would think, last month's would be the one that had, a huge haul. But no, compared to that, it's not that much, really. But, some, interesting things I got here, actually. So, let's start with, I guess, the most interesting one, as I believe so, is this thing. The Sega Genesis Classic Game Console. So what this is made by a company called At Games, if I could. There you go, by At Games. And apparently it's compatible with Genesis cartridges. And has 80 built-in games. So I was at a PC store with my father, and we usually like to go there, sometimes pick up some stuff here and there, and I found this thing for really cheap, actually, amazingly, for about around 40 or 50 bucks or something. And yeah, it really caught my eye because whoa, this, right? So I do have a Sega Genesis, and I do have some games for it, but the thing that always irked me about it was that I never gotten AV cables. You know, those 3 wires? The yellow, white, red wires there? I only had a RF switch for my Sega Genesis. So if I ever wanted to play it, I would have to use an old TV. Though luckily my current TV does have the cable, which I could technically run RF, but it's too much of a hassle to kind of set up. So I thought with this thing, oh yeah, it would be so great to hook it up on my TV and have regular RCA cables. It'll be great. So this is the thing right here. This is the At Games Sega Genesis, and it's surprisingly small with mono and a video. It's pretty light. Has the two ports right there, so you can play 2-player, which is great. That at least you can play your old Genesis controllers, which I do have. Though it does come with a Genesis style 6-button controller. Here's the thing, though. This, not really the greatest thing. I ran into a number of problems and some annoyances, so I'll just kind of detail them. First off, let's go with this thing. So this uses, I think that's called infrared, I believe, in which, it works fine, but you have to kind of point the console directly at or point the controller directly at the console, which is from right here. It works, but what you can do, right? It's probably cheaply produced. So speaking of cheaply produced, so one thing, it is not compatible with all Sega Genesis cartridges, which is a little bit of a shame. Though most of the cartridges that I did work, play it on, the majority of them worked. Some of them didn't. I think one of them was NBA Jam. I got that for Sega Genesis, didn't work. So, oh well. Other than that, for some reason, I had no idea why, but when I first got the thing, and I used the power adapter for it, the thing wouldn't turn on. There's a light for it that indicates that the power adapter does, light up and turn on. But it didn't turn on for 4 or 5 days that I had the plug in my plug socket. and it just suddenly turns on, and everything's fine. I don't know, it's just this thing. And then the biggest, I guess, disappointment would be the audio issues. Sega Genesis has a very interesting sound to it. It's very like bassy and rock and rolly type of thing. If you play Sega Genesis, if you play lots of Sega Genesis games, you know what type of sound it produces. This does not do a very good job at, emulating the sound of a Sega Genesis. It sounds really way off. I might have to, put in footage of playing a Sega Genesis, like Sonic the Hedgehog, for instance. The intro song to, Sonic the Hedgehog. I'll probably play it right here. Sega! And you could kind of tell the difference, or hear the difference of what this thing produces or makes. It's a little disappointing. And it kind of bothers me a lot, because this is it's so compact, it's great, look, it's fine, it's great, this would be so great to play Sega Genesis games on. It works fine. It's not the greatest of quality, but, for what it was, I wasn't expecting too much. But the sound is so... it's so disappointing that, you would think they would get the sound right, but it just sounds so off-toned. Every game sounds so off-toned. But hey, 80 games, am I right? With such games as... Mortal Kombat, all the Mortal Kombats, pretty much, and Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Echo the Dolphin, if I remember. Let me see the back of this thing. Yeah, look at all this. Let's see, what was some of this? It also has some original games with it, which is kind of neat, but really, you really want to play Streets of Rage or Golden Axe or something on this thing. So it's, for $40-50, it's alright, but it's just probably way better to actually get the real Sega Genesis console. So, it's alright, but just the sound, the sound is the key thing that really bothers me. So enough with that, with the Sega Genesis. Let's go with the Amiibos! Yeah! So I got two Amiibos here, Dr. Mario and Fox, which I'm actually quite surprised I even managed to find Fox. I found these two at Walmart, and yeah, this is one of the original type of Amiibos, one of the very first that kind of, I think it was in the first wave, if I remember correctly. And it was just there with a couple of extra Fox Amiibos. I think Nintendo has done somewhat of a good job of restocking some rare Amiibos. I'm really happy that I even got a Marth, for instance. And that's one of the holy trinity of Amiibos. But, yeah, I'm really happy with Dr. Mario and Fox. Always great. And then as for the physical games, well, this is pretty much it. Which, I'm not the best of games, but I am still really happy with it. One thing, the DS games with Point Blank, DS, and Rhythm Heaven. I'm really happy that I got Rhythm Heaven. I heard many great things about it, and have played it for a little bit. And man, that game's kind of hard. Like, man, going on Rhythm, it's kind of hard. I was surprised like how difficult it could be. But it's still such a fun game. And with Point Blank DS, I have heard many great things about the Point Blank series that was originally on PlayStation. They were like light gun games. And they basically made a version on the DS. I played it for a little bit and really enjoyed it. It's that fun, wacky type of WarioWare style type of mini games, but in like a light gun form. So that really piqued my interest, and I got it for both for $10. And it was really fun, really great. It's really fun. And now for the 4 main console games I got this month, or in December, we got Mad Dog McCree Gunslinger Pack. And I'm so happy that I got this, because it's such a dumb game, and I love it. So I heard about the genre that is full motion video games, and I was always kind of interested about the genre, because it's just so like interesting and quirky and weird that like you would use like live actors and live action footage to make a game. And this was one of the very premier best examples of what a full motion video game looks like. So this comes with 3 light gun games, or on-rail shooter games, and yeah, it's so, oh my god, it's so cheesy, it's so great. I managed to play this with my cousins and some of my friends, at least the first game, because it does 4-player, which is actually really cool. And it's not the greatest. It's kind of horrible. it's kind of bad, but I love it because it's just so like out there and weird. It's great. I got Zombie U, which you can see is still string wrapped, so I haven't actually opened it yet, and I still haven't played my copy. But I did remember playing Zombie U way back when the Wii U was first being shown off. At my local mall, they had some Nintendo kiosks promoting the Wii U, and yeah, this was one of the games that they were showing off, and I played it for a good like 30 to 45 minutes or something like that, and I was really impressed. Like, it really used the Wii U gamepad to its full advantage, with a whole bunch of like gimmicks and stuff like that. But like, that's what I wanted from the Wii U, is like a bunch of like really cool exclusive games that really take advantage of what the gamepad has to offer. And this is one of the best examples that uses the gamepad to its full potential. So hopefully I'll be playing it a lot more in the coming months. And then for my Christmas presents, these are my PS4 Lego games with Lego The Hobbit and Lego Marvel Superheroes. So also I gift my sister Saw on PS3 and Shadows of Mordor, so they're not here, but I did get those games too by extension. So with the Lego games, I'm not really into the whole Lego game genre, because it must be the genre. So, oh my gosh, it might be like at least a dozen Lego games that's out there. But I never really played a whole lot of the Lego games. I did believe I played some of the Lego Star Wars games on, well, actually I did have a video of one of the games I did play on the Lego series, Lego Star Wars on the DS, which you could check the video out somewhere on the screen. Yeah. And I did play Lego Star Wars on PS3 with one of my cousins this one time, but I never really had like a lot of experience with the Lego games. So, it was kind of a pleasant surprise, because, generally I think these two games should be pretty fun to play, and they do have a formula to them from what I heard. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to at least try them out and see what they have to offer. So, there you go. And now for the Digital Games of the Month segment, let's just say, the games that I did get were all from the Neo Geo Humble Bundle that came out. And Wow, this is, I think this is the largest number of games that a Humble Bundle has ever had before. It had about, like, I want to say almost over a dozen Neo Geo games. So there's a number of games in this bundle, from The Last Blade, King of Fighters 2002, 2000, Shock Troopers, Sengoku 3, Metal Slug, Ironclad, Fatal Fury Special, Garu, Mark of the Wolves, a whole bunch. I'll just kind of list just pretty much all of them, because I got all of them. And wow, that's a lot of Neo Geo games. Like, a lot. I was a little bit surprised on how they distributed some of the Neo Geo games, because usually I'm really accustomed to getting most of these Humble Bundle games on Steam. But there's only, out of the 14 or 15 or so, or dozen plus Neo Geo games, only I think about 5 of them were compatible with Steam. So that's a little bit surprising, at least to me. So most of these games are actually just PC downloads, like just programs I could just play on. So that was kind of interesting, though I usually just kind of buy most of my games on Steam. But hey, at least, you know, I got them, so there's that. So that's all the games I got for December 2015. Not as much as the last month's, but you know, sometimes you can't get all the games, right? So there are some games that I'm actually generally surprised that I got, like Mad Dog McCree. He's I think the highlight actually of this month, at least I think, because I'm just like, it was actually like super cheap, really, and like I just have so much fun knowing that I have this game. Though if you really want to say like what the highlight of the month would be, it would probably either, you know, Zombie U or the Sega Genesis classic game console from At Games. So, but hey guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and see you guys next time.